So a highly convertible product page is key to success on an e-commerce store. So let's talk about 7 tips on how you can make your e-commerce product page into a selling monster. Tip number 1, your picture is worth 1,000 words. And it really is. Everybody is making decisions based on the pictures initially. When they're shopping, they're looking around and something catches their eye. And that something is generally going to be your picture. So whether this picture is on social media or on your website, on a category page, whatever it is, this is like the line in the water waiting to catch the fish. And if you have bad fish bait, you're not going to have a lot of people come to your product page. So what you need is a good quality, high quality, beautiful picture. So invest in that. If you don't have the capabilities of doing this on your own, I would recommend hiring somebody so that you have really high quality pictures, because people are going to make split-second decisions based on that picture. If the picture is low quality, they're just going to assume your product's low quality, right? And they're going to keep looking for one that they feel is better quality. If your picture's better, they're going to like your product better, whether it's a dress or a actual tangible product. It comes down to the picture that catches their interest at first, so make sure you have good pictures. So tip 2, once somebody comes to your product page, they see your picture, of course, like we talked about, but the first question that they're probably going to have is, does this solve my problem? Does this fulfill my need? So make sure that that is extremely clear underneath the product title. You can even make the product name have some of those questions answered right there, but generally there's some room for a short description. Leverage the short description to put the real meat on the bones to what the value is of your product. They can, of course, go investigate in your long description further down the page if they want to, but generally all they really care about is, does this answer their primary need? So think about the person that's interested in your product and what is the number one thing that they want to know that your product does? What problem does it solve, right? And does it fulfill their need? And if they can check that box, they are ready to move to step 2. Tip 3 is to make it clear how much your product costs. One of the first questions somebody's going to have once they realize it's a nice looking product and it does what I need, how much does it cost, right? So don't make them dig for this and find this. Make it extremely clear. The thing that they're going to wonder is does this cost relate to other things out there higher or lower? In other words, is the price that you have that you're offering a good deal or a bad deal? And so they're going to go through this mini thought process in their mind, and they're going to be motivated to possibly jump off your site and go search other stores just to do this research and analysis. So one thing that you can do is do it for them. Show the price and then also maybe highlight something like lowest price online guaranteed, right? That might work. Or we've done the research and we've ensured that this is the lowest price. Or maybe it isn't the lowest price. Maybe your price is actually higher. Tell them why. Hey, here's the price. It has the best guarantee that there is, right? Our product is guaranteed to last for 1,000 years, right? Everybody else is 100. Have some kind of verification or validation that your price is a good price for what they're purchasing. Ultimately, people don't necessarily need the lowest price. What they want is the best deal with the most value. So if yours has more value for a higher price, they're gonna make that purchase, right? Do that research for them so they don't leave your website. Tip number 4 is to make it clear how fast they're going to receive your product. After somebody goes through this process of deciding to probably move forward on a purchase, they're going to first want to know how quickly are they going to be able to get it and how much is that going to cost for the shipping. So if you can do free shipping, make that unbelievably clear. Hey, free shipping. And also say how fast they'll get it. One call to action I've seen that's really effective is, hey, buy by midnight, we get this sucker out same day. You know what I mean? Something where they feel like you are on it. Like as soon as they check out, you have people like sprinting through the warehouse, throwing stuff on planes. You want to make this unbelievably clear so that they feel like they can get it really fast, because if they feel like it's going to take a long time, what's going to happen is they're going to go to other websites and do some analysis and see if they can actually get the same product quicker. So make it clear how quick they can get the product. Also make it clear what the cost is so you don't end up losing them, which they call abandoned shopping carts, as they move through the checkout process. Generally, people will abandon a shopping cart because the price changed on them all of a sudden. So if you can even work the price of shipping, if you have those costs, into your price, that's better ultimately than adding on more costs as they move through the checkout process. That'll ensure you have less abandoned carts. Tip 5 is to show how much everybody loves your product really clearly, right? Before somebody buys, they're often going to think, do other people like this product? They're going to look for reviews. So you need to make sure you have reviews on your product page. This is really important. Even if you have to go through the painstaking work of calling every person that buys your product initially to get them to leave a review, it's well worth the investment of your time, because the more reviews you have on your product page, the more people are going to see that and they're going to convert, right? You're going to have a low conversion rate if you have no reviews. You know, how many e-commerce stores have you been to where you looked at a product and you thought, that looks pretty good, and you went and you clicked the review tab and there was literally nothing there? I'm probably pretty sure you left that site, right? That's what all of your customers are doing as well, unless you get reviews. If you have reviews there, they're actually going to check out, which is money in your pocket. Tip 6 is to make checkout really easy. Make it really clear. Have your checkout button be massive, or your add to cart button be massive. Make it super simple. You got to dummy proof it. You don't want any friction here. If you have any friction, if they have to hunt for anything to add something to their cart, once they add it to their cart and then keep shopping, if they have to struggle like a scavenger hunt to find your cart, that's a problem. You need to make this really, really clear. Test it on your grandma, right? Go to your neighbor that doesn't seem very tech savvy and see if they can do it. At the end of the day, you need to make sure that your checkout process is really smooth and tight. Tip 7, last tip, and this is really one after the checkout process, but make it easy for people to share your product online. A lot of times somebody will buy something and they're excited about it, right? They're in an emotional state. So if it's easy for them to share this on social media so that their friends can see what they just bought, that's an easy way for you to get more sales, right? I would call that a twofer, where somebody buys something and they share it and then their friend buys something. That's called a twofer. The more twofers you can get, the more profitability you're going to have, because the second person that comes to buy, that was free, right? So make it really easy for them to share this information online and you're going to get more sales. Okay, so there's my 7 tips, but I got 2 hidden power tips for you I'm going to pull out. Power tip number 1 is you have to make sure you test your store and your product page on mobile. Everybody's buying mobilely now. Now look, I understand you're probably designing your product page on your desktop computer, right? It's easier. You probably uploaded your picture, you added your description, it probably looks really good to you, but if you didn't test on your phone, you're missing out, because everybody's buying on their phone, right? Put yourself in their shoes. Like, where are you shopping? Probably when you're sitting on your couch, right? On your phone. You're not at home on a computer. So all of your consumers are doing this too. So you need to make sure your mobile site loads quick and it looks good. If it does those 2 things, you're probably going to get a lot more sales. Power tip number 2 is to compare your e-commerce store and your product pages with your competitors. Go and look at every single one of them. And for this, you need to try to be like unbiased. You need to just pretend you don't own your business and look at all of those different product pages and stores and ask yourself this question: would you buy from you or would you buy from your competitor? Because if you would buy from your competitor, you have some problems to fix. You need to make sure that your product page and your e-commerce store is so good that it is always the #1 choice. And if that is the case, you're going to kill it online. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully these 7 tips and the 2 power tips help you to have better product pages online. If you have an e-commerce store, hopefully this information was very helpful to you. If there's other tips that I missed, please leave them in the comments and share this with your friends if you think it's something that would help them as well. Thanks for watching. Follow us for more content like this down the road. Have a good one. Happy marketing.